L'chaim, l'chaim, li nishmas Rabbeinu Yitzchak ben Shlomo. Make you l'chaim on coffee. Uh, but last night we made a lot of l'chaims, when we, did, a lot of things. L'chvodo shel tzaddik, generously sponsored by Yitzi Alp and Ari Bertzi and Moshe Mendel. We had a Suda Malay Kol Tuv, as the long mimer. That's also, you have a link for it together with the link to this video. So we had a Suda Malay Kol Tuv, Olach Vodo Shel Tzadik, Big Yashikoch to Yitzi Alper, Harry Bernstein, and Moshe Mendel. L'chaim, l'chaim. As you saw that we posted that there's an urgent message. What's the urgency? Urgency is that it's Yahrtzeit Yahrtzeit. It's a once-a-year event. And Am Yisrael's Bitzara Gedola, Sakana Gedola, as we know. Sadly, Iran, they're all over the world. They have their agents, their proxies, not just around Eretz Yisrael, but, B'chol Makom, this was all prophesied, the Gemara says in Avodah Zarah, that the Parsim, the Arabs, Parsim, the Iranians, want, credit for building Geshorim. The Gemara says you built those Geshorim, right, those bridges for terrorism. It's Ayin Sham. It's right at the beginning of Sechs Avodah Zarah. Nothing good is coming up from this. They've infiltrated everywhere. And Am Yisrael's B'Sakar, not just Eretz Yisrael, Am Yisrael, and this doubly resounds during the 9 days when we talk about, the Churban and our vulnerability in general. It's a time where our mazel is not strong currently. So the urgency is that the Arizal's Yahrtzeit is just once a year, and we need it now more than ever. So the urgency is to do Lilui Nishmaso, that he should be Melitz Yosha for us on his big day, but also to learn his Torah, which is beside the Geula. That's what brings the Geula. And we spoke about this extensively last night. What I want to do very briefly is say some key points that for those who heard last night's mimer or will still listen to it, right? If they heard it already, it'll still be some new points that weren't said, and it will also be a very good general chazara for those who have not heard the mimer yet. And I hope after this, you will find the time. If not on Erev Shabbos, then, Torah is timeless. You can listen to the mimer after Shabbos also. So these brief words will be an excellent hagdama that will make the mimer more understandable. So the mimer will go, as it were, more quickly understood, more quickly absorbed, hopefully into the heart. Right? The Beis Hamikdash, that we are mourning its destruction thereof, during Beit HaMitzarim in general, and the 9 days more befrat on Tisha B'Av, right? So the Beis Hamikdash is called Hamakom Asher Yivchar Hashem L'Shakein Shmo Sham. It's over and over and over again, in Tanakh, the divine name rests there. And that's what already by Matan Torah. So the Torah is also Shem HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and was already said after Matan Torah. HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants the Torah, which is Shem Shamayim, which came down from heaven, right? And that's because this is not hard to explain, right? Because Torah is Ratzona Yisbarach, what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants, right? Ratzon is Gematria Shmo, right? Right, because as in Shem Kvod Malchuso Kvodo Shal Ratzono Shalom Zeu Kvodo, right? So if the Shem gives covet, right, what's covet? To fulfill someone's Ratzon. So it means that the Shem and the Ratzon are the same. If the Shem is the Shorosh of covet, as the Ratzon is the Shorosh of covet, they are one and the same. God's will is God's name, and that's what it means. Be able to understand. It's very clear from the writings of the Ramami Panu, who is explaining the Ari. What he was makabel from the Ari's Talmud, Rabbi Sol Saruk, that the Tzimtzum was in Ritzono. In Kabbalah, we never talk about God's essence. That's also, it should be said just in general. It's the big lie. It's the big lie that as if Kabbalah, makes God, it's Megashem, makes God, gives a tzura to God, and it's the biggest lie there could have ever been. The Kabbalah never discusses the essence of God at all. Everything is Ritzona. Now, and that's what we mean. Tzimtzuma Ein Sof. Ein Sof is not the essence of God. Ein Sof is Ritzona Yisbarach. And then, in one place you'll see in the Ramai Pond that Tzimtzum was in the Ratzon. Elsewhere you'll say that the Tzimtzum was in Shmo. Shmo HaKadim Kekadmuso. Shmo means Ratzon, right? And we spoke about this extensively last night, that the whole Bria is built on the divine name. Now that's what it also means. Istako Boraiso Bara Alma. The Torah is the God's divine name also, right? It's the first manifestation of, the first expansive, was expansive definition of God's name. Because we know, Yud Hey with Shmi and Vav Hey with Zichri, or is it the other way around? All together equals Ramach and Shasa, right? The mitzvahs of the Torah, right? So the shame, the shame is it gets expanded, as it's revealed, as it's remembered. It expands to take on the manifestation of Torah, and from the manifestation of Torah, it takes on to be, the blueprint of all of reality. Right? And it all starts from the shame. That's what its symptom was, beside the shame. That doesn't mean shame. It means in the Ratzon. So God's name is his Ratzon. His Ratzon is his name. Right? And that's what the Ramami Panu is saying over in the name of the Ari, as was explained to him by the Ari's Talmud, Rabbi Sol Saruk. Right, and that's where Rabbi Sol Saruk's Kabbalah starts from, so explaining how the shame became the Torah, expanded into the Torah, and from there the world was created. That's the Maila that there is in Rabbi Sol Saruk's teachings of the Ari that we just don't have in the Kisvei Rav Chaim Vital. Okay? But of course, if there's ever any stira between the two, you go with Rav Chaim Vital. Right? It's like the Mishnah, right? It's like the authoritative version, but this we're speaking out was accepted by Hasidim and by the base medrash of the Goyim as being a legitimate hosafa over what's written in the Kisvei of Chaim Vital, right? And so it's very nogeya. So after the Torah, which is Shmo Yisbarach, it is the first expansion of the divine name to take on the Ramach and Shasad. But in reality, so Baruch gives Torah, he wants to put it in a place. So that right after Matan Torah, right, in Mizbach Avodim Ta'aseli, the Baruch already commands on the most basic rudiments of Binyan HaMishkan, as we saw, and B'chol Mokom Asher Azkir Es Shmi Avoy Lecha B'Rachticha, that, so the Pashup Pshat says, talk about Azkir Es Shmi, is the base of Mikdash. Now, Chazal and Mishnah and Avos darshan even one who's Isaac in Torah, because the Torah, became, if Torah takes up space, so to speak, so it takes up space wherever a Yid is learning it, but there's a place where it's always to be found, and that's in the Beis HaMikdash. That's where the Shem Shemaim rests, right? And that's where also, who sits there, there's the Grand Sanhedrin, which is Ikar Tarsha Valpeh. They sit in the Lishkas HaGazis. Rashitasim Sanhedrin Etzon Mizbeach. So after we have the Tziv Mizbeach, we have to put the Sanhedrin by the Mizbeach, because that's where the Shem Shemayim that came from heaven, which is the Torah, rests. Right? It's called the Shem, right? The Shem is there, and that's why in the Beis HaMikdash you could actually pronounce the name. You could actually say it as written, right? Because that's the place. That's the place of the name, right? And the Kohanim branch and said V'samu Shmi al Bnei Yisrael. And that's the Jewish mission, Am Yisrael, which is the nation where the Shechina is Shira in Am Yisrael. It's Asuli Mikdash, Vasuli Mikdash, V'Shachanti B'Socham, right? That the Ikar Shechina is not so much to be within the confines of the Beis, but the Shechina that's within the confines of the Beis HaMikdash is representative and just the revelation of the Shechina that's in Yisrael. Just like Hashem gave the Torah to Am Yisrael, and that's the Yisrael, Vorais of Akutra Brichu Chadu, were all linked by the divine name, right? And and this is what we explain in Chochmas Kabbalah, and particularly the Chochma of the Ari, like we explained, right? And this is this is the Jewish mission to be Mekadesh Shem Shemaim. Shem Shemaim is point center. It's the point center of reality, and we explain that more in the mimer, the longer mimer that you will surely listen to when you have a time, right? So that's what we expend, the bulk of the mimer explain how Shem Shemaim is the center of reality, and that's the Makom HaMikdash, that's Nekudas HaMerkaz. And that's why Chorban Abayis is such a terrible tragedy. It's like the universe had its point center punched out, God forbid. And that's why, there's all the different isms that want to try to fill in the vacuum to be like the new cause, whether it's climate change or wokeism or, everybody wants to usurp the Nekudas Americas. That's why everyone's also preoccupied with the land of Israel. Speaking about the Eis Tzara that we are in, right? Everyone's so preoccupied with Israel. The UN has nothing better to do. People are killing each other all around the world, and they're just focused on Israel. Nekudas Americas, right? Because whoever controls that point controls the whole world. Right now, that Nekudas Americas should be occupied by Shem Shemaim. Hashem lemelech al kol haaretz. Hashem echad u'shmo echad. Right now, there's a little bit of a vacuum there because the base measure is missing. Of course, the vacuum is only on the apparent level of reality, not in the shirish, as we explained last night. But nonetheless, there's this perceived vacuum, and they want to grab it. That's why they don't want Am Yisrael and Eretz Yisrael, because Am Yisrael and Eretz Yisrael will put back Shem Shemaim right there where it belongs. They don't want that to happen. Right? So but Shem Shemaim is also so it's the Jewish mission of Lekadesh Shem Shemaim. Amanash Takadshu Shmi Barabim. The Rambam brings it, in the Sefer HaMitzvahs, by the mitzvah of Kiddush Hashem. We were taken out for the mission of Amanas Lekadesh Es Shmi Barabim. Lisa, right? Amanas Lekadesh Shmi Barabim. Right, and that's the Jewish mission. That's Ushmeid across Mecha v'Sam Ushmi al Bnei Yisrael. Right, and that's the Makom HaMikdash, and that's the Torah. And we have to make the alignment of Am Yisrael and Eretz Yisrael, and then the Am Yisrael Eretz Yisrael with Torah Yisrael, and that's the alignment that Shem Shemaim is revealed, perfectly from every angle. Right. And that's what's going to be lost in level. The Merabi Amenu. And the Chochmas HaKabbalah explains all this, that Shem Shemaim. So now, by the way, what I neglected to mention, besides the fact that the Beis HaMikdash is Hamakah Shevchar Shem L'Shakein Shmo Sham, I neglected to mention that pasuk. And, the pasuk, Chomakam Asher Aske Shmi Avolecha B'Rachticha. But also neglect to mention, it's also the centrality of the human being and the human experience. Kol Ma'asecha Yiyu L'Shem Shemaim. Everything you do should be a Shem Shemaim. Shem Shemaim is both the point of origin of everything, and it's also the tachlis of everything. Right? It's where everything starts from, and it's where everything goes back to. Beside what the Pirkei Avos says, Kodem Shebara Hashem Olamo, Hayahu Ushmo Echad, at the time before Brias Olam, it's Hashem and his name are one, because Shmo is Ritzona. Right? And then what's the future? Hashem lemelech hakol haaretz, Hashem echad u'shmo echad. We go in a loop. Right? And that's an amazing thing I heard from my Rebbe Moshe Shapiro. Another thing I didn't speak out last night. Right? The echad miyodea that we say on Seder night, and we spoke about this, and that everything that we talk about during Yahrtzeit, the echad miyodea, the Chad Gadya, all we're talking about destiny, because our destiny really got started with Yetzias Mitzrayim, our mission as a nation, to Megala Shem Shemayim in the world. The others built up potential and promise, right? And the game really starts, from Yetzias Mitzrayim, Seder night. The world order really starts with Yetzias Mitzrayim. Right? So Echad Miyodea goes from 1 to 13. Right? Echad, right? 1. 13, Gematria Echad. Right? And my Rebbe explained, we're in a loop to go from Echad to Echad, to go from the Rashis, Hashem Echad Ushmo Echad, back to Hashem Echad Ushmo Echad, which is represented by the Yud Gimel Midas HaRachamim. That's where God shows He's the one and only, because He could forgive, because He's God and He could do anything. That's what's in this gala and the Yud Gimel Midas Harachamim Kayadua, right? And that's the loop that we're in, from one to one. And Am Yisrael's in that loop. The goyim are not. We're goy echad ba'aretz, goy echad ba'aretz. The nation that's Ushmeinu Karas Ushmecha is also, by no coincidence, goy echad ba'aretz. So there's only one Torah, goy echad ba'aretz, and Hashem echad. And all this sounds good in theory. In Chochmah Sakabah Chochmah, we explain this. And we gave examples in the Maimar how we explain this. And when we explain this, we bring it into reality. It's not just an academic knowledge that you're aware, but and may it just happen already. May the Gula just come already. No, by knowing it, we bring these ideas into reality. Ultimately, Shem Shemayim is manifest in Torah. We want to bring the Torah into the world. You learn Torah, you bring it into the world. We said the mission of us also touches it on a single person that's learning Shechina Imo. The Shechina is with him. So when we, so now, that we neglected to mention last night, talking about the Beis Hamikdash being missing. So what did Chazal give us an eitzah to do, right? So you got Chayv Chatas, learn the halachas of the Chatas. Those Torah Chatas, right? That if you learn the Torah of something, it supplements for it, because ultimately Torah is the root of it. So we don't have the branch. So at least pull a little bit on the root. If we unfortunately don't have the branch that branched out from that root, learn that root and bring it into reality that way. Chochmas HaKabbalah is the sugya of Gale Kvod Malchuscha Aleinu Mehira. It's the Divrei Torah of Gale Kvod Malchuscha Aleinu Mehira. So of course, learning this Divrei Torah supplements for it, just like learning the halachas of a carbon supplements for the carbon, right? But it brings it into reality. It brings the Shekhinah into reality. Shekhinah, and particularly Lagabe, what we're learning, learning the Chachma of the cosmic order, of how everything is from Shem Shemayim and leads back to Shem Shemayim. And we discussed this also last night in more Barichos. And the Ari was the one who spelt this out for us. If not for that, these concepts would just remain, very vague. Right, and the Ari explains to us befratut, and that's what the kavanas are. Kavana, doesn't mean thought. That's wrong. The Shlach points out that's machshava. Kavana means to take aim and to align, like we spoke last night. Beis Hamikdash shomata mechuvan keneged Beis means to make alignment, take aim, alignment. With the kavanas that we have in the mitzvahs, we have in mind of how we are aligning everything to spell out Shem Shemayim. Things get aligned not just in thought, things get aligned in action. We're making the alignment, and of being aware of what we're doing in Shemayim enhances it happening in Shemayim, because we just do the mitzvahs on earth, so of course it reverberates in Shemayim. But just like in thought is what's hidden, our thoughts are parallel to the hidden dimension of reality. So by having the kavonas, we are directly affecting the hidden dimension, not just by reverberation from the revealed. It reverberates in the hidden. When you add kavana, you're actually making the tikkun directly in the hidden revelations. In the hidden, where the revelation is hidden in the roots. You're making that tikkun there directly, in addition to making the alignment on earth. We do the Maisa makes the alignment on earth, and the machshava makes the alignment on a deeper level, right? And all the kavanas are what Shemus to be machavin, what oisius, spelling out the cosmic formula, that ultimately that when we realign everything as it should be, then Shem Shemayim will shine through. As we explained last night, Shem Shemayim is not something that you hear about. Shem Shemayim is something that you see, right? Liros, as Pnei Adon Hashem. Right, Shem is something that's not to be heard about, it's to be seen. Just like right now, Shem Shemayim is only something that we see in writing. We're not allowed to say it. But it's a similar davar, that Shem Shemayim is to be seen. Right? At one point, if you really see it, you're allowed to say it also when you really see it. Not just talk about seeing it. Right? But a similar davar is that Yud Kei Vav Kei you see in writing, can't pronounce it. That shows that Shem Shemayim is something that should be visible, not just something that you hear about. right? And that's what's going to be loss and love, meher b'yameinu, Right, and the Torah of the Ari, makes this real and gives us even a derech to, directly affect it, not just by, ripple effect through the mitzvahs, but by adding the kavanah to the mitzvahs, we make the alignment more directly at the root level, not just by the vibe, right? And ultimately, causing the realignment that everything should spell out God's name, and that's the Jewish mission, Kiddush Shem Shamayim, right? We are the nation, the one nation, Keneged Hashem Echad, Keneged Ushmo Echad, Keneged Ushmo Echad, right? Which is Him, His name, which is the Torah, which is Am Yisrael. That's Atechad Shilcha Mikam Chosek, and that's and that's all Shem Shamayim. We know God by His name. The Torah is His name, and that name is Chal and Klaiso, and that idea in space is the Beis HaMikdash. So it comes out that the Torah of the Ari is mamish explains the process of making the cosmic alignment of bringing out the divine name, and what's right now it's called Chilul Hashem. Says the Zohar, Chilul Hashem. Chilul means chalal, a void. There's a vacuum of the divine name. And the Navi, I believe, in Cheskel says he's going to bring the man shmish lo yischalo bagoyim. He's ultimately, if push comes out, bring the, goyim, bring the God. There shouldn't be such chil Hashem, such a vacuum of the divine name. Am Yisrael's mission is to fill in the vacuum, and that's what the Beis HaMikdash did. It filled in the vacuum, made the shame manifest. That's our mission. With the Chachma of the we know who we are. We know what our mission is, and we know where everything's going. And the knowledge of it is not just to have privileged information. The knowledge of it actually accelerates the process happening. Because what we know is what we bring these concepts into the Bria by first bringing it into our mind and in our heart. By that means we also bring it into reality, and we accelerate reality getting there. And we spoke about this from another angle last night. All right, we need this morning of the Chilul Hashem, the vacuum of God's name, right? Even by the goyim, they're even mavaza their own avodah zarah, not because they became frumer. They're mavaza their avodah zarah, they're mavaza Christianity, like at the Olympics. It's just because they're just rebelling against anything that has episareach, even this most delicate connection to, ruchnius, morality. Right, the Chilul Hashem is horrible, horrible. Right, it's only in a world where there's a Shem Shemaim is totally hidden that the Rishonim can have this type of hatzlacha that they're having, Rahman Litzlan, right? And we need the Torah of the Ari, of the Torah of Shem Shemaim, right? To as a countermeasure, and that's what I explained. It was revealed dafka in the later generations as a preparation for the Geula. Now, of course, it's on the shoulders of all the Messiahs, after all the generations that came before that cleaned up the ether, cleaned up that we were roy for this revelation. But of course, this revelation is only for those who are willing to toil on it and work on it. Rabbi Isai, it is the mission here in Evan Shasia, Harbatza Sator in general, but Harbatza Torah of Pnimi Torah, the Torah of the Ari, the real stuff, not the fluff, the real stuff. And it should be without compromising. Maybe because we don't compromise the substance is why we're not so popular. Because we, with the full intensity, full academic rigor, but still to explain it for anyone who's willing to, engage the mental gears, right? It's perfect. We make it perfectly understandable for those who are willing to think, right? And that's what we're trying to bring this Torah into the Bria, right? So now I'm asking you, please, on this day, on the day of his Yahrtzeit, where you need him to be Melitz Yosher for you. Am Yisrael needs to be Melitz Yosher for us. On this day, give to our organization, Le'ilui Nishmas Diari HaKodesh, Le'ilui Nishmas Rabbeinu Yitzchak Ben Shlomo, S'chus Yogein Aleinu. Give to us, and you. It's not just stuck up for him, Le'ilui Nishmaso, that he'll surely be Melitz Yosher, but you'll get, year-round residual benefit because you're giving to a cause that just further spreading his Torah in the world. So please give generously on this day. Le'ilui Nishmas Rabbeinu Yitzchak Ben Shlomo. He'll be surely Melitz Yosher for you. He'll give you, he'll push for you in response to you doing for him. Yeah, that's how it works. As the Maharal explains in Perak Yud Beis of Nesiv HaAvoda, right? You do for even though the after life in this world, there's no more Bechira Chavshis, but the Shalom Tzaddikim who don't have Bechira anymore still respond to anything that's done for them. They respond. It's a response. You will respond and be Melitz Yosher for you, right? So please give, and this way he'll be working for you year round because we teach his Torah and Svasav Devos Bekever. So of course, this is just a suggestion. Who am I to demand anything from anybody? But since I'm just suggesting, if anyone hearing this video gave already, in preparation for the big Hilula that we made last night, listen, it's just a suggestion. I have no right to demand anything, not even give even once, right? But just a humble suggestion, right? That we want the rebuttal. Yitzchak was Mavarech, thinking Yaakov was Esav, right? But but also thinking that Esav was Roi, right? He said V'yiten, and God should give. So Yitain v'yachsor Yitain. We want God to give and give again and give again. B'mida Shalom moeded in low, right? God, responds to you the way you respond to Him. It's just a suggestion. He said, I gave already. Yeah. So when you want to say Rebroshim might tell you, well, I gave already. This type of thing you're asking for, I gave already. We want Yitain, V'yachzor V'yitain, and it's close that if you gave already, you're going to give again. So you should also be Zeicha from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and the Arizal will be Melitz Yosher, that it should be Azah, right? That it should be that way. That Hashem will Yitain, V'yachzor V'yitain. So please, everyone should help support us to spread the Arizal's Torah. Right, Schusa Yagen Aleinu Va'al Kol Yisrael, and we should hear Besuras Torah, Schus of his Torah, and Schus that he'll be Melitz for Am Yisrael on his big day. We're going to get out of this Golus, come to Tzion Barina, Hamakam Hashivcha Hashem, Lishaket Shmo Sham. We'll all be at the base of Mikdash together at this time next year. Be'ezras Hashem, L'chaim, L'chaim, Schusa Yagen Aleinu.